Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We've seen war. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Join Terry with Tracer Rounds every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern to hear interviews with veteran artists, veteran business owners, and businesses that support veterans. Catch us on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and MB Radio. If you miss a show, you can listen again on Reefs Across America Radio every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. Tune in to see if you are on target. MBR, giving veterans a voice.
And welcome back to the Tracer Rounds podcast. You're on Military Broadcast Radio, where we're giving veterans a voice. And tonight's voice is to Tony Corrales and Doug Barry. And we're so excited to have you on tonight. Welcome.
Good evening, Terry. Thank you so much for having us. It's an honor to be on your show.
Thank you.
Well, we're so excited you reached out, and you're both Air Force veterans. And so can you tell us a little bit about your service? Yeah, Doug, you can start, and then Tony, if you want to follow it up after he kind of talks about his service. We just kind of want to hear a little bit more about what you've done, maybe some of the highlights of your career.
Sure. Yeah, ours will intertwine a little bit because we both started out in Tucson in 1985 or beginning of 86. Did 4 years at Davis-Monthan, went over to Korea for a year, came back to Shaw Air Force Base for 15 years and retired there. But yeah, it was a great time. I met a lot of good people. Don't know if I really have any highlights. The 4 tours to the Middle East were kind of interesting at times. Yes. But yeah, that's just the typical stuff, I guess.
So what was your job specialty?
Armament system specialist, loaded the munitions on A-10s and F-16s and maintained the weapon systems.
That's a big job.
Kind of important.
Yes, kind of important. Tony, what about you?
So mine's pretty similar. Doug and I, like you mentioned, I entered the service in 1985, and Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson was my first duty assignment. That's where I met Doug, and we were young airmen together out on the flight line and working on the A-10 Warthog. And, you know, looking back, 1985, that's a long time ago. And, you know, when I hooked up with Doug a few years ago, again, after quite a long time, we hadn't seen or spoken to each other. It was great to catch up on everything, but so we started out there together, and then Doug moved on. I moved on. I was at Davis-Monthan for about 5 years. And then in 1990, I got assignment over to Keflavik, Iceland, which is a naval air base. But they had a Air Force F-16 fighter interceptor squadron there. So I spent a year in Iceland. And then after there, I went to Langley Air Force Base in Virginia for about 4 years, working the F-15 there. I worked in the back shop, not on the flight line at that time, repairing the, missile launchers, gun systems, and all that fun stuff. And then had a couple trips downrange to Saudi Arabia. And then after Langley, I came back to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base.
Oh, wow. Full circle.
Yeah, so I spent my last 10 years in the military here and retired after 20 years at Davis-Monthan, and a couple more deployments over the Middle East, Kuwait. I went downrange a couple times there, supporting the mission. But yeah, after that, retired in 2005, went to work for a defense contractor here in Tucson, worked for them for 16 years.
Wow.
And it's funny, went to work for them, worked for Air Force programs for 20 years, and I ended up working on Navy and Army programs. But I finally got onto an Air Force program there, but then went back to Navy program. But it was really enjoyable because there were so many retired military folks out there. It was just like, kind of like a homecoming a little bit. I knew a lot of the folks, a lot of the guys and gals that were in the military. I knew they worked out there as well. And so it was nice to be able to work with them, as well as some of the, hard charging civilians that were supporting the warfighter. So really enjoyed that. And then I retired from Raytheon in 2022. So
wow.
A couple years ago, just enjoying retirement now. And my wife and I have a big old 36-foot fifth wheel. We like traveling and stuff when we're not playing music and playing shows and things like that. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So what made you to join Air Force? What was it, and how old were you when you joined, and what was it about the Air Force that decided that was the way to go and the job?
That was actually I'll jump in there. That was pretty easy for me. I can't swim and I can't run long distances. So that pretty much knocks out a couple of branches right there. So it's like, well, let's go ahead and join the Air Force. And maybe I can do something cool, like be a jet engine mechanic, which is really what I wanted because I was quite a gearhead growing up. But there were no openings, so I just went in for open mechanics, and that's how I ended up being a weapons loader. I didn't really know what I was getting into, but it's like, hey, at least I'll be working on the plane, so that'll be cool.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
So that's what led me into that field, and I don't know, it was cool. Sometimes it wasn't so much because there's a lot of bombs up, a lot of bombs down. Repetition got boring. Boring. Is that a good word to use when you're handling weapons? I don't know, but
I'm not sure either.
Tiresome maybe would be a better word.
Yeah, as long as you were focused.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yes, please focus. Yes.
Maybe I should just call it the daily grind. The daily grind was good.
There you go.
Yeah.
What about you, Tony? What did you?
Well, just like any probably young boy, I grew up as a kid, playing Army guy and Air Force guy and military guy. I think I always knew that I wanted to be in the military, even as a young kid. And so when I was 17, I was actually still in high school. I went down to the recruiter and started talking to him. Funny story. I actually went to the Navy office first. Navy, they had all the branches of service in the same building,
right,
in Salt Lake City, where I grew up. And I went to the Navy guy and started talking to him, took all the ASVAB tests and stuff. And, we sat down to pick out a job and did really well on the tests. And he goes, hey, you scored very high on your tests. So these are the jobs that, we think you might be suited for. And he goes, the one that you should look at is this like nuclear engineering program. And I was like,
oh, wow,
that sounds pretty good. I loved math and sciences and stuff. And so I was like, wow, that sounds pretty interesting. So he goes, yeah. He goes, I was like, well, what does that entail? So he said, you probably go to boot camp and then we'll send you off to school to learn about nuclear physics and stuff like that. And I don't know how true the whole thing was because I never actually pursued it. He goes, and then you'll learn how to work on nuclear equipment and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty interesting. He goes, and then you go out to sea. And I was like, oh, cool. I said, on what? He goes, probably a sub. And I'm like, no, absolutely not. So, it's cut out for some folks, and God bless them. I just, that one just didn't go well with me. If it had been on like a carrier or something like that, probably would have had a whole different life. But I got up, walked next door to the Air Force recruiter, and he said, I knew you were coming over here, buddy, as soon as he dropped that sub on you. So I ended up talking to the Air Force guy. He offered me the Armament Systems Specialist position. And so I ended up taking that, doing the 20 years. And so, that's kind of how it all started for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you guys met, and let me back up 1 second. In your bio, you said that you've done music your whole life. So did you do any music while you're in the service, and did you collaborate with anybody while you were in service, or did all that start after you got out of the service?
Yeah. So being a musician or, a performer all this started after I got out of the service. And, when I say I was into music, just like anyone else, I was just, and oddly enough, growing up, I was a rocker. I listened to all the rock, 80s rock,
Right.
and all that. Wasn't really a country guy. And then my mom had gotten divorced, and she's a single mom with 5 kids. And she had a new boyfriend. He was a big old trucker, Howard, and my stepdad. They ended up getting married, and I used to go on his truck with him around Utah for short distances because I had to get back to school and stuff. But when I did go out, he was playing his country music all the time. He used to drive me nuts. And so I'm like, no, this music is not for me. Well, after a few times, it started growing on me, and then I got hooked. And so, and I was just, I listen to everything now still, but country is, is what I enjoy the most. And I didn't really get involved with like music or playing while I was in the military. I retired at 38 from the Air Force, going on to a second career. And during that time, right after retirement, I had always liked singing. And so just like a lot of folks, I'd go out and do karaoke and do this and that. And then one night I got online and I found an online karaoke website. And so I started singing on there. And it was one of those websites where you could listen to people share comments about their songs or whatever,
Yeah.
And a lot of the folks, when I started singing, they're like, hey, man, not too bad. You should put a band together. And I'm like, yeah, right. I just like singing, and this went on for like 3 years. And
Wow.
I was like, you know what? After all these comments, I'm like, why not? So I put an ad out on Craigslist, the musicians page on Craigslist, trying to put a band together here in Tucson. And not 2 hours later, I had a drummer and a guitar player that were interested. And that was in 2012. And we started, we picked up a bass player and an acoustic player. And we practiced for about 6 months over at my place, and came up with a set of, full night, 4 sets of songs. And we just started playing out. And so we've been doing it ever since. So it's
Oh, wow.
that's how my music journey started, really.
So is it the same band that you started with?
Two, the drummer and lead guitarist, they've been my original players since then.
Wow.
We've had a couple bass players and a couple rhythm guitar players, but my current band, we've been together since 2019, and then
Wow.
we added a new acoustic player in 2024. After 2019, I took a 5-year hiatus. I was a little burned out, so I started playing again in 2024. And started doing music again and stuff. So, but yeah, it's been quite the journey.
Awesome.
Very, very enjoyable.
So, Doug, what were you doing after service?
After I got out, I did a real quick job as a Jiffy Lube manager. I highly suggest nobody ever does that. I lasted all of about 3 months, and I'm like, I have got to get out of here. So. I landed after that. I landed at Ram Automotive. manufacture performance clutches for street cars and race cars. So that was a lot of fun, and it kind of tied in with my racing stuff. I did a little bit with the, like I was saying earlier, mechanic on ARCA cars, NASCAR Craftsman truck team, Busch. Did a couple cup races.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, my last cup race I worked with Stanton Barrett, and it was a full circle moment for me because the first cup race I ever went to since I lived in Maryland was the Dover track, and that's the track I worked with Stanton Barrett as a NASCAR team member. So that was really cool.
That is cool.
So after about 13 years of that, working for Ram Automotive, got a job with Lowe's, being a department manager. Wasn't bad, but I wouldn't recommend that too much too either. I mean, Lowe's takes care of you. They pay well and all that, but I'm just not I'm a little bit of an introvert, and the general public maybe isn't just who I need to be dealing with. And so after that, I worked down at Shaw Air Force Base at lodging, just being the linen guy, just picking up dirty linen, dropping off clean linen for the maids to the housekeepers to make the beds and stuff. And then 62 came, and I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm just going to retire. So that's what we're doing now. And in my retirement, we're writing children's books and messing around with song lyrics. And the children's books are going over pretty good. Jasper and Friends. It's about a rabbit. My son got me started in that when he caught a rabbit in the backyard and brought it in the house. Named it Jasper, let it go the next day. And I looked at my wife. I'm like, what a great idea for a kid's book.
That's awesome.
So I've sold a couple of thousand copies of that. And I'm just, promoting the heck out of that right now.
Very cool. So then you guys reunited and you came together in some way because Doug, you wrote a song and Tony was wanting to sing it. So tell us about how the writing of the song came about, and then how Tony, you picked it up and decided you were going to record it.
Yeah, I guess since I was writing rhyming children's books, I had this great idea that, hey, I could probably write a song. I mean, I didn't think it was that big of a difference. And the next step for my children's books was going to be a cartoon, and every cartoon needs a jingle. So I wrote a jingle for the cartoon, and hooked up with a guy on LinkedIn, Matt Clark. He put music and lyrics and voice to it, and it was really good. He's like, did you write any other songs? I said, 40 years ago, I wrote a Christian song. He's like, send it to me. And he read the lyrics to it, and he put music and a voice to that too. But he's like, man, you could sell those lyrics today. He's like, did you write anything else? And I'm like, no, not really. But started, the little light bulb went on, and it's like, well, maybe I should start trying this. Maybe there's something here. So I wrote some Christian music, lyrics rather. And then I decided I wanted to write something for the troops. And it was a little bit of a process to think about, because there's been a lot of songs about military, and I wanted it to be different. And my thought process led me to, well, what do all of us have to do? Well, what can we all get around that every single one of us has had to do? And it's go TDY, go deploy. Forgive me if I get emotional, but that's what it was. And then I got thinking, it's like, well, when we deploy, we all have to go through certain kinds of trauma. And that's one thing that we don't all do the same. So I thought, well, that's the song. And it's a really cool song. It's kind of a little bit repetitive in the way the words go and stuff. And it was so cool because it just kind of wrote itself. I mean, I just started writing it. And once I got like the chorus down, and it all just started, it just all kind of fell into place. I mean, the rhyming isn't real difficult or any of that. They're pretty simple, just easy conversational words. And it just came all together. And when Tony saw it, he's like, man, do you have anybody interested in that song yet? And I'm like, nope. He's like, you mind if I take a swing at it? And I'm like, dude, I'd be honored if you took a swing at it. And he knocked it out of the park.
So were you guys in communication at that point, or did the song bring you guys back together? How did that happen?
I think we got hooked up earlier than that on Facebook.
Yeah. So a couple years before this, now, I spent about 3 or 4, I think, Doug. We had hooked up on Facebook, just became friends, started chatting again. And then I saw that he was an author, which I was like, wow. He had his Jasper book. I think his first Jasper book was getting ready to come out. And I was like, that is pretty cool. I was like, well, I want one of those autographed, of course, when you get that done, and he had done the same with one of my first album.
Yeah.
And so we kind of traded, artistic things back and forth. And so, and then he said, Doug said, he started writing these lyrics. And I was kind of wondering too, when he brought up his buddy that said, hey, you write these children's books and you do some other writing, and you ever tried writing lyrics? And I was kind of curious about that too. And then he started doing it, and they were really good. His Christian songs are awesome. He's written some bluesy kind of, Memphis-y tunes that are really cool. If I could pull it off, I would like to record those too, but I know my limitations, right? And so I guess last year, was it last year, Doug, that you wrote this song?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, if it wasn't last
2024 or 2025. Yeah. And he sent it to me, and when I started reading the lyrics, I'm like, it just hit me, like a lot of folks that have heard the song now, even just talking about it gives me chills, because the lyrics are so relatable.
Yeah.
And like Doug said, we all process and go through things in the military differently, especially if you go downrange. But even folks that haven't, deployed or anything, we've all gone through something in the service that we can all relate to. And the way Doug put that song together and the thought process, it just astounded me, right? And I'm like, this is a hit song, right? And I thought, I was like, I'll be a little jealous, I'm an independent music guy, country music guy. And I'm like, this is a hit song. I was like, Doug, he's going to shop this song around, and somebody like a Trace Atkins or a Jason Aldean or somebody's going to pick this song up, and they're going to be one lucky dude, or woman, whoever picks the song up. And, and so it was a couple months later, and I went back, I started listening, or, reading the song again. And I hit Doug up. I said, hey man, if you haven't got any bites on this song, I would really love to record it. And he was like, the song's yours.
That's awesome.
So I got together. I told Doug I would get together with one of my local producers here, the producer that produced this last album, Ricky Washer-Tuares, awesome guy here in Tucson. And I got together with him, and we went over the song, and he was like, oh yeah, we can do something with this. And he felt the same. He hadn't served, but his father was in the military, so he got it also. And we just started working on the song. And then in the meantime, I have been working on these other songs that are on the album, along with one of my guitar players, Rob Rojas, who wrote 2 of the songs on the album. And it just all kind of came together. But this song especially, We Don't All Come Home the Same, it just hit me. It floored me.
Well, why don't we play it real quick so everybody can hear what we're talking about, and then they can get the goosebumps too.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
He was 18 in boots with a buzz-cut grin, waved to his mama, then they shipped him in. Saw things no boy should ever see in a place half a world away from peace. He rode home with hands that shook, talked about the heat and not the lives it took. Came back quiet, eyes deep and wide, and said, Mama, it's good to be alive. 'Cause we don't all come home the same. Somewhere they're hurt like a ball and chain. Some wanna talk, some never will. Some find God, some can't sit still. just can't, so they walk away. So don't take it wrong if I don't say much today. We don't all come home the same. Met a buddy at the VA hall, lost a leg but still stood tall. Said it ain't the scars that folks can see, it's the ones that never let me be. Can't do fireworks on the 4th no more. Sleeps with a Bible and locks on the door. His watch is holding when the night gets loud. Never asks, she just loves him proud. 'Cause we don't all come home the same. Some break down and some stay brave. Some hide pain with a crooked smile. Some ain't laughed in a good long while. Some need hugs and some need space. Some just want a quiet place. So don't take it wrong if I pull away. We don't all come home the same. If you see me staring at the sky, I'm thinking of the ones who said goodbye. I ain't looking for a helping hand, just doing the best I can. We don't all come home the same. We carry ghosts we can't explain. Some find faith, some drown the pain. Some fight demons they try to tame. Some need hugs and some need space. Some need love with a slower pace. So don't take it wrong if I'm not okay. We don't all come home the same. But I ain't who I was. Still learning how to live. Still relearning love. So just be patient if I seem far away. We don't all come home the same. No, we don't all come home the same.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
And we're back with Tony and Doug and their song. I'm calling it their song because you guys make a great team.
Thank you so much.
So what are you doing with this song? If you buy this song on Amazon, then you're donating 50% of the proceeds. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the song, with We All Don't Come Home the Same.
Yeah, so our music is on all platforms, all streaming platforms. So it's available for anyone to stream or download. And what we're doing is donating half of the proceeds from that song off any platform that we get to an organization that Doug and I still have yet to determine who we want to bless with this donation. There's so many great veterans organizations out there. It's going to take a little bit to get a sizable donation to take to one of the organizations. So we have a little time to decide, but Doug's got some great ones in mind. There's some other great ones out there that I have in mind too. So we'll discuss that and we'll come up with a plan and do it together. And hopefully the song really takes off, which we hope it does, and we can do a lot to help some fellow veterans out there.
It's very moving. And like you say, you get chill bumps just kind of thinking about your own journey and your own path. And then those of maybe someone in your family that served that, that they're, feeling the same types of emotions around deployments and returns and just service in general. So I think it speaks to all of us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's so good. So I think you guys need to team up more for songs because I think you guys make a great team. So I think Doug, you should write some more, and Tony, you should sing them.
Well, he's got another one that he wrote right after we released this one, and it's a heartbreaker.
Oh no.
It's a tough one. It'll be a tough one to sing, but it's a real lyrically, it's just a beautiful song. Doug, I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit about it, but that's something that we might have in the works here for a next release, maybe in the fall. We want to let this album run its course a little bit, especially we don't all come home the same. Out there for a little bit, let the folks listen to this new music, and then hit them with some new stuff in the fall, maybe.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Tony, I will tell a little bit about it because there's a little story behind it. My daughter and her husband are going through the adoption process right now. So this song is titled "The Family We Found."
Oh, that's awesome.
It's about the process. It's about trying to put your trust in people you don't really know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a very difficult process. It's not easy to adopt. I mean, there's a lot of hurdles to be overcome, and there's a lot of steadfastness that has to take place in order to adopt a child.
Yeah, they've been at it for quite a while, and it finally looks like maybe closer to the end of this year, it's all going to be finalized. But yeah, you talk about hoops you got to jump through. They had some hoops they had to jump through for sure, and it's quite a process. And yeah, it just kind of moved me to write that song. It's tough for kids to go through. It's tough for folks who can't have kids to go through, and that was the issue with my daughter and her husband. They couldn't have kids, so the good Lord just kind of pulled their family together for them.
It's a beautiful song. I hope maybe when we release it, we can come back and talk with you again.
Yeah, no, that'd be perfect. I would love it. And so About a Woman is the new album, and that's track 8 is the we don't all come home the same. And so the album has and you have been nominated for a Josie, right?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Josie Music Awards, but they're an annual award show. They're the largest independent music award show in the world. And they have this show that every year, they started in, I want to say in Gatlinburg, at Dollywood, having the award show, but they've since moved to Nashville. And so the last 2 or 3 shows have been at the Grand Ole Opry, which is a huge, big deal, you know. And so, and this show, the Josie Music Awards, is all genre, not just country music. It's all genres from around the world, artists from around the world, and it's specifically for independent artists. And so you can submit your music to be reviewed by. They have a music industry professional panel that reviews this music. And they had over 100,000 submissions this year.
Oh my goodness.
Across all genres. And it's been growing every year. And so it's a fantastic organization, and they put on a fantastic award show. And so, yeah, we were lucky in that they're releasing this year's nominees for 2026 throughout the month of May. And so we were blessed with the first one was a Male Country Vocalist of the Year last week. So I'm up for that one. And then there's a number of other categories that we're hoping to, hopefully they pick up on. And there's one that's called Social Impact Song of the Year. And We Don't All Come Home the Same is perfect for this category. And I'm just praying, and we're both hoping that it gets the nod and the nomination. And if it does, the award show is in September in Nashville at the Grand Ole Opry. I'll be meeting Doug out there, and hopefully we'll be walking up on the stage. And but if we don't, it's just a fantastic time. It's a fantastic organization to help independent artists get their music out there and move them along in their careers. And so we're very fortunate to be nominated.
I think that's awesome. You've been nominated before, right?
Yes.
In
so,
2019?
2019 was my first full album that I released called Country Looks Good on You. And we were nominated for actually 5 categories, but one of them was Album of the Year. And we won Album of the Year, and that was across all genres, which blew me away.
That's outstanding.
And so we walked away with some hardware there, brought it back to Tucson for the fans here, you know, around the world, because we've got listeners all over the place. And so that was really cool. And then shortly after that, that's when I said I took a break for 5 years. And then I'm glad to be back doing music, and it just sits well with my heart.
Well, you're very good at it. So why don't we play Country Looks Good on You? Because I think a lot of people will remember that song, because I know I did. As soon as I hit play, I was like, oh gosh, I know this song. This is amazing.
Yeah, so if before we play it, I would like to say, since you're in Texas, so this song was written by Gabe Garcia and also performed by Gabe Garcia. So this is essentially a cover song for me, because it was his song. But when I heard it, I'm like, I love it. I want to. Yeah. And so I reached out to Gabe, and he was like, oh, yeah, man, you know, feel free to, you know, do whatever you want with the song. And it's done really well for me. It's done really well for him. And I don't know if you heard my version or Gabe's version, being in Texas, because he's a Texas boy, and he travels all around playing all the honky tonks all around Texas, and he's really good. And some folks may remember him. He was actually on, do you remember the show Nashville Star?
Yep.
Yes.
He was actually on Nashville Star back in, I think, probably around 2008, 2009, maybe. Kind of around the same. I think he was on the same season that Chris Young was on.
Oh, wow.
If you're familiar with Chris Young, who ended up winning that season. But Gabe is an awesome singer and entertainer. But he was gracious enough to let me record this song. It's done really well. So I just wanted to put that plug in there.
Well, thank you for that. Sure. But I remember your version, I'm pretty sure. But we're going to play it. We're going to see what others think. Here we go.
Okay, thank you.
It's an everyday traffic jam to a grumpy old boss man, overworked and underpaid, and the deadlines are killing you these days. Baby, I know exactly what you need, so come on home to me. Baby, slip off them high heels, business suits, slide into them wore out blue jeans and cowboy boots, scoot right on over next to me. It's looking like a back road tailgate shade tree. This is something I can really get used to, 'cause country sure looks good on you.
We gave him the short version, the tease, so that way we could still talk. But yeah, no, I know I heard your version, because that's the one I remember. So
awesome.
I love it.
Fantastic.
So tell us what you're doing now. What do you have coming up? What concerts? Do you have a tour schedule? Are you touring the new album?
Actually, I'm not. So here's the thing. I'm still doing music. I stopped performing actually this past December. For independent artists, it's tough. So when people think about singers, you know, and performing and stuff, you know, a lot of them think about the big name stars that are touring around the country, and you know, they all paid their dues, worked hard to get to where they were. Right. But for an independent artist such as myself, who's a little long in the tooth, you know, in the years, playing 4 hours a night, standing on the stage, singing roughly 55 to 60 songs.
Wow.
It takes its toll on the body. It's
Yeah.
really rough. And me with my bad back, now these last few years, for whatever reason, never had them before, but when I'm on stage, the lights and the music, I get migraines.
Mm.
And then lately, been having some memory issues. And so a lot of artists, they have iPads, and it's pretty commonplace now to where you have an iPad on the stage, and especially for independent artists, you have an iPad on the stage that you can kind of reference, as you're singing along, to a song or whatever. And then sometimes if you get lost, you can take a look real quick at the lyrics or whatever. But
Yeah.
55, 60 songs a night is a lot to remember.
That's a lot.
Even the best of them forget their lyrics. You can pick them up every once in a while if you're listening really, really closely. Usually it's only the musicians and the artists that pick up on it, but sometimes other folks will too. But just that in the back of my head started giving me anxiety before the shows. Not really stage fright, but anxiety.
Yeah.
And you're the first person I've told this. No one else knows this. So
It's our secret.
Other than my wife. So with that and those issues going on, I've decided to step away from the stage. I still want to do music. I love the writing process now. That's one thing, this last album, I discovered the love of writing. And, along with Doug, I think we're a good team too.
Yeah.
And I think you'll hear some more pretty cool stuff from us in the near future. But I'm hoping. And but so I'm not touring. I don't have concert dates. There may be a special occasion that I might, get the band back together, and do something. If something were to come up with this song, our song, Doug's song, We Don't All Come Home the Same. If say a military organization was having some kind of function, they wanted me to perform it, I would consider that, because it's one song, but it's very impactful. Those are the things that I would consider. But to continue playing all the time and taking the toll on the body, it's a little rough. And so I think my niche is maybe songwriting now and doing an occasional performance, if that makes sense.
Well, you can always do it online. That's what we did during COVID. As a lot of performers that couldn't perform would do it online. I don't know if you know Kevin Fowler, but that's exactly what he did, because Kevin Fowler wanted to employ his band. So he, they played online and, just took donations or tips or whatever, or would play private events online for somebody. They would be the performer of the evening for them. And so, there's always those opportunities too. If you're not really wanting to go out and tour, you can still do your online thing where you started karaoke and you learned that you had a good voice.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Because you definitely do. So if you're writing a song, what's that look like for you, for both of you? How do you get into that mental space to start creating? Because I don't know that I have that creative bone in me to sit down and write lyrics out and to make them make sense.
Yeah, I really need to be inspired. I can't really just sit down and say, today I'm going to write a song about this, or today I'm going to write a song about that. I really need some inspiration to come from somewhere. And a lot of times, and Tony will probably say the same thing, it'll come to you at night, like in the middle of the night. You'll wake up at like 2 o'clock and you have this idea in your head and you're like, man, I got to jot this down because when I wake up, I'm not going to remember it. And I've laid in bed and wrote a chorus down while I was laying in bed and put the phone down, and then woke up the next day and started working on a song. So, I mean, I hesitate to almost call myself a songwriter, because those guys, I think, can just sit down whenever they want to and just crank one out. And I really need it to be moved by it and really get the inspiration for it.
Yeah, I'm the exact same way as Doug. Most of the songs, if not all of the ones that I've written, have come at night when I've been laying in bed, couldn't sleep. That's why I keep a notepad by the bed, or the phone, and I can just pick it up and I'll get a hook in my head or a melody and just save it for the morning, write down as much as I can remember about it, and then get up in the morning and sit down. Sometimes it just rolls right off the tongue, and I think a couple of my songs I wrote in probably an hour or two.
Oh wow.
Other ones There's a few on this latest album that sat in my to-do file on my computer since 2011. So they were just waiting to be finished. So, you get inspiration at different times of your life, and most of mine are from, real world experiences, good and bad. But all of the ones except Doug's are on this album are about a woman. That's the, my wife is my muse for most of them. And so I draw a lot from that. She's my inspiration, my rock. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So I've heard from other people the same thing, that they write mostly at night, or like the inspiration hits in the middle of the night, and they've got their voice recorder like up, recording whatever's coming out of their mind stream at the time, like these are the lyrics that are working for me at this time, and try to get as much down on paper as they can and then rework it later. So hearing you confirm that's really the way it is, because I guess it's the only time our minds are really quiet and we're not really focused on anything else. So those thoughts and those creativity juices start flowing because you're quiet and you can hear those inner thoughts and hear those words start to take shape into a song.
I mean, for me, not only the words, but when it's so quiet, you hear the melody in your head, how the song you think it should go, right? And so it's just like translating that and conveying that to your band members, saying, hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is the feel I'm going for. And the guys I play with, they're just total pros. They're, it just amazes me sometimes that, I can give them an idea, and in less than a minute, they got a melody going and the beat going. And I'm like, wow, these guys are crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing to be able to create like that. Why don't we play About a Woman too, so that way we can hear the new music?
Okay, I can tell you a little story about that.
Yeah, please.
So About a Woman was written by my bass player, Robert Rojas. He used to play acoustic for me, and then he prefers bass, so he played bass. But he wrote this song along with two other ones. It's kind of like a trilogy. The first one was on my EP that we released last year. It's called Lost in the Mail. And then the other song on this album called Clothes for Repairs. I don't think I sent you that one, but it's called Clothes for Repairs. And then the third one is this one. It's about a woman. So this one is about a relationship that Robert went through.
Oh, wow.
And that didn't quite work out. And so this is talking about, the leaving process, the breaking up process, the healing myself process, and then About a Woman is about the moving on process. So this is the number 3 song in the trilogy of it. And so, when he wrote these songs and I read the lyrics, and he had some melodies put down with him too, I'm like, wow, these are good country songs, brother. And these are actually kind of like a pop country. So I'm more of a traditional country player and singer. And so I kind of went out of my box on this album to kind of branch out a little bit. So there's a couple songs on here that are not traditional country, but they're, I think, still touch on country a little bit, at least.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. But this one's got a pretty good groove to it.
All right, well, let's play it. Here we go.
Open my eyes to find I'm beaten and sore. Time for a change, 'cause I don't want any more. She really had me laid out on the floor. Sweep up the dust, it's time to take the sign off the door. No more dreaming about a woman that left me far behind. No more drinking, no more feeling that I'm going to lose my mind. Finally breaking a long cold winter today. Dust off the feeling that I'm going to lose my mind. Looking forward to some healing for my heart this time. And no more searching for a woman with a love that's all but blind. With a love that's all but blind.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
And we're back with Tony and Doug. And I love that song. It's great. I love the guitar. I love the lyrics. I love your singing. I think it's awesome.
So I wanted to say on this album, I mentioned my producer, Ricky Washer Tavares. So he's a multi-instrumentalist. So he played 90% of the instruments on this entire album.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so he brought in a fiddle player, steel guitar player, and some lead guitar for a couple of the song licks. But for the most part, this guy put this album together for me instrumentally. Awesome. Amazing guy.
Definitely.
We're hoping he gets the nod for producer of the year for the Josie Music Awards. So our fingers are crossed.
Yeah, I'm definitely crossing my fingers.
Yeah.
So if you guys had to give your younger selves some advice, what advice would you give your younger selves?
Ooh, Doug, you go first. I need to think about this one.
Yeah, no, I got it because I get this a lot when I do interviews for my books and stuff. There's never a perfect time. There's never a perfect place. If you've got something you're passionate about, just do it. And as I like to say, because I've done all these crazy things in my past, it's like you only get one life. You might as well make it epic.
Right. I love that.
Yeah, me too. Put that on a shirt. Put that in a song, brother.
That's right. Make it epic.
Yeah, my thing is that I've found, at least in my life, is really simple. Always trust your heart because it's usually right. And so a lot of times I didn't do that and made some mistakes in my life. But when I did trust my heart and, trusted the Lord to guide me, went in the right direction. And so,
I love that.
Trust your heart.
I think that's great advice. I was thinking you guys would be great for Operation Song, for writing songs for veterans and, helping to perform them or, just work with them and write about their experiences. I think you two would be great for that. So if you want to get connected up, I have a name that I can send to you to do that. But I think, I think that would be great because, like you said, you weren't necessarily wanting to tour or anything like that, but you're still wanting to create and still be in that space. And so Operation Song, writing songs for veterans and really helping them heal probably is a really good mission set for both of you. I think it would be
amazing. Yeah, I would definitely appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely do that. So before we get off here, is there anything else you guys want to put out about things coming up for you, about your books, about your songs, about music, about we don't all come home the same? Is there anything you want to put out before we get off the air tonight?
Don't ask me about my books. We'll be here another hour. There it is right there. You can get them on Amazon. That's my newest one, Farmer Jasper.
Nice.
Jasper and all his little woodland friends in there. And
they're books.
They're great for kids, fun stories to let kids be kids. I don't get all wrapped up in the social whatever of the day. These are just fun stories you can just turn your brain off and laugh at. So
yeah,
I think the children's book industry needs more of those kind of books.
I agree.
Yeah,
definitely.
Totally.
More books and less media, social media and electronics. And
they're only little for a little while.
True. Very true.
Yes.
What about you, Tony?
My plan is to just keep pushing for this album, especially this song, to do well, looking for different opportunities to get the word out there and hopefully raise some money for the vets. It's really tough now because of streaming. It's a fantastic tool if you're a music lover, which we all are. But for independent artists and songwriters, it's really tough because you don't make a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
And Doug and I, we're not in it for the money. We're both retired, and this is just a hobby for us, but something that we love and that we're passionate about. But so it's my thing is to just get the music out there, get the song out there, let people enjoy it, let people relate to it, and then hopefully we can do some good with what comes of it. And thank you very much for your support, having us on here. Very, very honored to be on your show.
Oh no, we're honored to have you. We were so happy when you reached out. We're like, we'd love to support veteran artists, whether they're authors, whatever they're doing, we're happy to support. So we'd love to play your music. It's already streaming on our 24/7 radio station. So yeah, I'll be loading up some more. And if you've got anything new you want to let us know about, be sure to hit us up and we'll put it on the air.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you two so much for being here tonight. I think our audience really got a good taste of what you guys are capable of, and we're looking forward to seeing more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This is Tracer Rounds signing off.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by WorkSimple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at mbradio.us.